Hi, I hope you're well, safe, and healthy. So we find ourselves now after Passover, and there's a custom in many Jewish communities to study Pirkei Avos, a chapter of the part of the Talmud which is called, the tractate of the Talmud which is called Pirkei Avos, the Mishnah of the ethics of our fathers, which discuss very interesting things and inspiring things, more of ethics rather than law. And this coming Shabbos, after Mincha, we're supposed to read/study the first chapter. So we're going to go through now a short Mishnah, the second Mishnah of the first chapter of Pirkei Avos, Pirkei Avot, Ethics of Our Fathers. Shimon HaTzadik, Hoyim Mishirich Knesses HaGdela. Shimon the righteous was from the last survivors, or even the last survivor, comes out from the Bartanura, the commentary. So he was seems like the last survivor of this great group, Mishire Knesses HaGdela, of the Anshe Knesses HaGdela, the men of the Great Assembly. The men of the Great Assembly was this elite group of 120 prophets and sages. That was at the beginning of the Second Temple, which means it was approximately 23 to 2400 years ago. For instance, Mordechai HaYehudi, the famous Mordechai from the Megillah, from Purim, was part of this group. So this Shimon HaTzadik used to say, Al Shleisha Dvarim Ha'elam Emed, on three things the world stands. Meaning the world was created in the first place for these three things. Al Torah, for Torah, Val Aveda, for serving God, which means, the Bartanura explains, sacrifices, which today we don't have sacrifices because we don't have a temple. So instead of the sacrifices, a daily prayer. We Jews pray 3 times a day, Shabbos and holidays 4 times a day, Yom Kippur 5 times a day. V'al chasadim, and a loving kindness. So in short, the world was created in the first place for these 3 things: for Torah study, for prayer, and for good deeds, kind deeds. Torah. So Torah is an inheritance of the entire community of Jacob. Every Jew owns the Torah. There's no copyright. Every Jew equally owns the Torah. And this video, as I say in the past, is sent to many, many Jews of different backgrounds and levels of observance and Torah knowledge. So we have to know that what's most important, that each and one of us, at whatever level we are at, should improve. Even one step, even a baby step. Today better than yesterday, tomorrow better than today. So, Torah, Rabbi, I don't read Hebrew. It's a very poor excuse in 2021, even an obsolete excuse. It's not an excuse at all. Why? Because already decades ago, there's so many books of Torah translated in different things of Torah, the written Torah, the oral Torah, law, all different types of things, in so many languages. In addition to that, the internet. Take, for instance, a website like Chabad.org, Chabad.org, which is especially equipped for Jews with a limited knowledge background. There are other authentic Jewish sites, which are an ocean of knowledge. So really there's no excuse. Torah has to be studied every day. There's a beautiful insight. The world stands on these 3 things. Our sages say, Elam Katan Ze Adam, the miniature world is the human being. Every human being is a miniature world. So really our life should be standing on these 3 things. Every day we should be fulfilling, studying Torah. Every day, you don't have an hour, 2 hours, do a half hour, 10 minutes, but every day really should be done during the day and during the night. Let's say before work, after work. Someone that's retired has much more time. On the train, you could listen to things, you can read. In the car, there's so many things you can do to study. Technology, there's so many different options. Prayer. So as I said, we Jews pray 3 times a day. If you don't pray 3 times a day, so men should try, and really very, very, very important that every Jewish man should put on tefillin every day, every weekday. Usually we put on tefillin, we say the Shema. Women that don't put on tefillin, you could say the Shema in the morning, Shema at night, Moda'ani, right when you wake up, you thank God Almighty for restoring your soul, giving you another day of life. So it is the minimum of prayer. So talk to your local rabbi, you can talk to me, where to start from and how to increase, etc. And finally, Gemilas Chasadim, loving kindness. So there's a simple thing you can do. Obviously, you see someone that needs help, someone that needs an encouraging word, uplift somebody, help somebody, advise somebody. That's very, very important. And to make it simple, and every day you should be able to do this, is to have a charity box. You fill up the charity. Every day you put something in the charity box. The Rebbe even once suggested that you should knock it into the wall with a hammer. Like this, it becomes part of your home. The mitzvah becomes part of your home. And every day you put something in there. You can afford for $1, a quarter, a dime. Every time you put in a dime in the pushke, it's a mitzvah. And once full, you give it to the charity of your choice, a synagogue, yeshiva, poor people, whatever it is. So every day, your day it contains this mitzvah of charity, this great mitzvah of charity. Besides Shabbos, which you cannot handle money, so Friday you could give double. Jewish holidays, those holidays that we don't handle money as well, have to be careful. Basically every weekday. So like this, we see that the miniature world of the human being, of the Jew, has every day some Torah, the more the better, some prayer, the more the better, and some charity or loving kindness, the more the better. Thank you for listening, and all the best.